In the wealthy wooded suburbs of Asheville, North Carolina, where million-dollar homes hide behind walls of rhododendrons, lived 17-year-old Maya Ellison. Her father, Richard, a cardiac surgeon, had remarried 18 months earlier. His new wife was Elena Voss, striking, soft-spoken, always wearing long sleeves even in summer, and 31 years his junior. Everyone said how lucky Richard was. Maya mostly stayed quiet. Elena never raised her voice, never slapped, never even grounded her. Yet every time Maya walked into a room, the air seemed to thicken, like someone had just burned incense made of old hair and copper coins. It started with small things. Maya's favorite silver necklace, her mother's, the one with the tiny moonstone, disappeared for 3 days. When it reappeared, it was lying perfectly centered on her pillow, but the clasp was bent backward, as though someone had tried to tear it off a neck by force. Her dreams changed. Every night the same scene. A long dinner table in a house that looked like theirs but felt older, colder. Elena sat at the head, smiling, stirring a bowl of black liquid with a long silver spoon. Maya's own hands were tied to the chair arms with what looked like her own hair, and every time Elena lifted the spoon to Maya's lips, the liquid smelled like pennies and rotting gardenias. She would wake choking, tasting metal. One October afternoon, while Elena was at her weekly yoga class, Maya did what she had promised herself she wouldn't do. She went into the attic. The attic smelled of cedar and something sweeter, almost floral, like funeral flowers left too long. In the far corner, behind stacked moving boxes labeled Richard's medical texts, was a locked cedar chest Elena had brought from Romania when she moved in. The lock was old brass, shaped like a screaming face. Maya had watched enough horror movies to know better. She still picked it with a paperclip and the broken tip of her tweezers. Inside, 7 small mason jars, each filled with dark hair tied in knots. One jar had Maya's exact shade and length, a porcelain doll with no eyes, just black glass beads sewn into the sockets, a bundle of dried herbs wrapped in red thread, a photograph of Maya asleep in her bed, taken from above. The timestamp on the Polaroid was 3:17 a.m., 3 weeks ago. Maya had no memory of anyone being in her room, and at the very bottom, wrapped in black silk, a silver spoon, the same one from her dreams. The handle was engraved with tiny Romanian letters and what looked like dried blood flaking off the bowl. She should have run. Instead, she took the spoon. She hid it inside the hollow base of her bedside lamp. That night, Elena cooked dinner. She never cooked. Beef bourguignon, Maya's favorite dish from when her real mother was alive. Elena wore a cream silk dress and hummed something low and circular, like a lullaby that had been wound backward. "You've been so quiet lately, darling," Elena said, setting the plate in front of Maya. "Are you feeling all right?" Maya stared at the spoon resting beside her plate. It wasn't the same one from the attic. This one was brand new, polished, no engravings, no blood. But when she lifted it, the metal felt warm. Too warm, like skin. She ate 3 bites before she noticed the taste. Under the red wine and mushrooms was something bitter and electric, like licking a battery. She pushed the plate away. "I'm not hungry." Elena's smile didn't reach her eyes. "You will be. Soon." That night Maya didn't dream. She woke because her tongue felt swollen. She stumbled to the bathroom mirror and opened her mouth. Her tongue was black at the edges. Not bruised, black, like ink spreading. She screamed. No sound came out. Her vocal cords felt thick, coated. She ran to her father's room. Richard was asleep, breathing slow and heavy, the way he always did after night shift. Elena sat beside him in the dark, fully dressed, stroking his hair with long, slow motions. She didn't turn when Maya burst in. She only said very softly, "Go back to bed, child. It's almost finished." Maya fled to her room, locked the door, pushed her desk against it. She grabbed her phone. No signal. She'd had 4 bars an hour ago. The lamp flickered. She looked at the base. The hidden spoon was gone. In its place lay a single long black hair coiled like a question mark. She heard footsteps. Slow, bare feet on hardwood. The doorknob turned. The desk slid an inch. Elena's voice came through the wood, gentle as always. I only want what was promised to me, Maya. A daughter. A real one. Your father promised me a family. You're the only thing standing in the way. The desk moved another inch. Maya backed against the wall, clutching the moonstone necklace like a weapon. The door cracked open. Elena stepped inside. Her eyes looked wrong. Too large, too dark, pupils swallowing the irises. In her right hand was the silver spoon from the attic. The bowl was full of something thick and moving. I fed it your hair for months, Elena whispered. Your spit, your tears, a drop of blood from the finger you cut last Christmas. It knows you now. It wants to wear you. Maya lunged for the window. Elena moved faster. The spoon pressed against Maya's lips. Cold metal, then heat, then nothing. Morning came. Richard Ellison woke to the smell of coffee and cinnamon rolls. Elena stood at the stove in a soft gray sweater, humming. He kissed her cheek. Where's Maya? She went for an early walk in the woods, Elena said. She said she needed air. She's been so stressed with college applications. Richard nodded, relieved. Maya had been distant lately. Maybe she was finally coming around. Around noon, Maya returned. She wore the same hoodie and jeans from yesterday, but her hair looked freshly washed, shining. She smiled at Elena. Small, polite, perfect. Morning, Dad. Richard hugged her. She felt different, lighter, like she'd left half her weight in the forest. Elena set a plate in front of her. Cinnamon rolls. Maya picked up the silver spoon beside the plate. New, polished, no engravings. She ate slowly, delicately. Richard didn't notice that her eyes no longer quite caught the light. He didn't notice that when she laughed at his joke, the sound came half a second too late. He didn't notice the way Elena watched her, proud, possessive, the way a sculptor looks at finished marble. And he definitely didn't notice the single black hair that drifted from Maya's sleeve and settled on the tablecloth. Long, glossy, and curling at the tip like it was still growing. Later that evening, while Richard was in the shower, Maya walked into the kitchen. Elena was washing dishes. Without a word, the girl stepped close and opened her mouth. Elena leaned in, pressed her ear to the girl's lips, listened. A low, wet whisper came out. Not Maya's voice. Not anymore. It spoke in Old Romanian. Elena smiled, tears in her eyes. Perfect, she murmured. My perfect daughter. She kissed the girl's forehead. The girl didn't blink. Outside, in the darkening woods behind the house, something small and pale crawled out from under a fallen log. It looked almost like a shed skin, human-shaped, transparent, still wearing Maya's face like a deflated mask. Twitched once. Then it began to drag itself toward the road, fingerless hands reaching for headlights that never came. No one ever found it. And in the warm, expensive house on Maple Ridge Lane, a new family sat down to dinner. Father, stepmother, and the daughter who finally behaved. The silver spoon rested beside her plate, gleaming, waiting for the next course. And